Hazak u'Baruch, and a good morning to everyone. B'ezrat Hashem, Mincha is going to be 4:30. Please be on time. Today's learning is sponsored by Nishmat Hayim Fisher Ben Liba, sponsored by Michael Fulad. Hazak u'Baruch. We were discussing yesterday that a woman who is nursing and wants to relieve herself of the pressure on Shabbat, she's not allowed to manually nurse because that is a Torah melacha. It's a Torah violation. And a lot of people are not aware. It's important to make the public aware that it's asul to pump milk on Shabbat because of the prohibition of mifarek, torada dedash. And therefore that's an av melacha, no different than any other Torah violation of Shabbat. So we said one solution brought down in the Hazon Ovadia is that you can take something that is not edible, like gasoline or like some sort of chemical that makes it not edible, put it in the bowl, and then pump the milk directly into it. And in that way, the milk is called holech leibud. It's going to waste, and that lowers it to rabbinic level. It's no longer asul from the Torah, it's only rabbinic. And once it's rabbinic, the Chachamim come along and say, B'makom tsar lo gazru rabbanan. In a place where there's a lot of physical pain, the Chachamim did not prohibit, so that would be one way to permit it. But that's not as practical because a lot of times the women want to preserve the milk that they have. They don't want it all to go to waste. They don't want to have to throw it out. And therefore, that's not such a great solution. It's a last resort. The best solution, and this is the one I recommend to people, is either own. You have to either own or you have to buy one, these electric pumps. What's good about an electric pump? You could set it up on a timer. And on its own, it's going to turn on whenever you want it. If you want it to turn on at 9 o'clock at night, at 3 o'clock in the morning, you want it to turn on at 7 o'clock in the morning, you could set it for whenever you want from before Shabbat. And then, once it turns on, you could attach it. The first few drops is considered to be deoraita because that's the direct action. And therefore, those first few drops have to go directly to waste. You have to put some sort of container where it drops into something where it's holech leibud, but then the continuation, since the whole thing is working electrically and it's not a direct action, it's called an indirect action, the rest of the milk can then be preserved, so long as it's not detached and reattached. The difference between a manual pump is every pump is your direct action, and therefore every pump has to be holech leibud. Here, where it's being attached and it's just remaining the attachment, so therefore, only the first few drops have to go to the waste, and the rest is deemed to be a girama. A girama is indirect. Indirect is only asul at most midirabanan, and therefore all of that milk will be able to be kept after the first few drops. It is important to note that it's not good enough for the first drops to be put into a container and just thrown out, because that's not called holech leibud. It has to directly fall into something that is not suitable or not edible. And that way, you could permit it and you could preserve the milk and everything is great. A lot of times people say, but I don't have an electric pump. Go to the store, even if it's Friday, go immediately to the store and buy one. Drop everything that you're doing. It's more important than the hummus and the Israeli salad that you're going to have. And you're going to go ahead and buy one, and then you come back and use it on Shabbat. Put it on a timer and use it. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.